Good morning, children. Today, we are planning to have some discussion on questions that they have asked previously. Previous year question paper, selected questions we are going to discuss from the chapter Organism and Population as well as Ecosystem. Two chapters we have. Okay, very good morning all. Shreya, good morning. Then we have Anagha, Kripa, Vismaya, all of you, good morning. You are all doing well, I believe. Right? Okay, so you will get some idea on questions. How do they ask questions from different chapters? You will get some idea about it. For that, we are discussing some questions like this. Okay, so we have, our first question. These questions are from Organism Population chapter at first. Later, you will get questions from Ecosystem also. So in between, if you feel any doubt, okay, you can ask. Okay, is it clear? Clear? Could you please reply? Okay, that's good. Okay, so our first question is here. Question is this, match the following type of question it is. So first column, you can see some interactions, name of interactions we have given with. Then second column, you can see some symbols, some signs in order to represent whether it is positive, whether it is negative. Positive means beneficial, right? Negative means detrimental, harmful. Then we have options below. So the very first one, it is mutualism. Mutualism, of course, right? Mutualism means what? Here two partners we have, members of two species we have, they interact with each other positively. That means both will be getting benefited. For beneficial interaction, we will give with what? Plus sign, positive sign. So here we will check the first one. Here we have plus and 0. Second one is not the one. Third one is not the one. But fourth one you just take. Both are positive, right? Both the interacting species, they will be getting benefited. So plus and plus. So mutualism will connect with 4. Okay, both these species will be getting benefited. Then we have commensalism. Commensalism also you studied, of course, right? Commensalism means what? We have one species that will be getting benefited. The other one is having neutral effect. Lots of examples you studied. Cattle and cattle egret, you remember. Then vanda and mango tree. Vanda means it's an epiphyte. Then we have, of course, clownfish and sea anemone, right? All those examples you remember. So commensalism, here it is, one species will be getting benefited, that is species A. Species B is having neutral effect. So commensalism will match with 1. Then amensalism. Amensalism and interaction, your textbook it has given with, but examples are not there too many, right? So still we have to study about it. Sometimes, they ask some questions from amensalism also, example based questions. Sometimes they ask. Amensalism means what? Here one species will be getting harm, then other one is having some neutral effect. So with that condition, you can see here, okay, one species is there with the negative interaction, second is there with the neutral effect. Then we have parasitism. In parasitism, here we have both, one species will be getting benefited, other one is having some harmful effect. Okay, so prey as well as not prey actually, parasite and host organism. Host is getting harmed and parasite is getting benefited. So 3 here we have, of course, right? So mutualism, we will connect with 4. Okay, then commensalism, we will connect with 1. Then we have amensalism, will connect with 2. Parasitism, we will connect with 3. Okay. So with that condition, you can see option D. Okay, very good. Shreya, Vismaya, Anagha, you people have given option D. That's the answer. So we'll go with, option D here. Okay. Then next question we will take now. So our answer is option D. Next one. Given below are 2 statements. Here you can see 2 statements. This type of questions also will be asked for NEET exam. So both the statements you have to read at first. Statement number 1, Gauss's competitive exclusion principle states that two closely related species competing for the same resources cannot coexist indefinitely, and competitively inferior one will be eliminated eventually. Okay, competition, a population interaction you studied, there you have seen this principle. Statement 2, in general, carnivores are more adversely affected by competition than herbivores. In the light of the above statements, choose the correct answer from the options given below. So, option 1, statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is false. Okay, first one is correct, right? Okay, you know it, of course. Gauss's exclusion principle means what? When two closely related species, when one or two, okay, two closely related species competing for the same resources, they cannot coexist indefinitely. In due course of time, that inferior member will be eliminated. That is true, but second one is wrong. Okay, when we consider, that predation, everything, okay, and also competition, you just take, competition also they have given. They are telling that carnivores are more adversely affected by competition than herbivores. Okay, sure, it is supposed to be carnivores, right? Just take it as because food, right? Food won't be there. In the sense, question statement is this: in general, carnivores are more adversely affected by competition than herbivores. Sure, it is, right? Because if competition it exists, okay, carnivores, their number is less, of course, right? Right? Suppose they are not getting enough food, okay, they will be suffered a lot. So both the statements are correct. We'll take it as, of course, right? Statement 1 is correct, and also 2 also. That means both these statements are, both the statement 1 and the statement 2 are true. In that we will take it. The statement 2, in general, carnivores are more adversely affected by competition than herbivores. Okay. Okay, we'll just take it as both the statements are correct. So option C will take it. Next one, we have 2 columns again. So list 1, logistic growth, exponential growth, expanding age pyramid, and stable age pyramid. So here we have list 2, unlimited resource availability condition, limited resource availability condition. The percent individual's growth of pre-reproductive age is largest, followed by reproductive and post-reproductive age groups. The percent individuals of pre-reproductive and reproductive age group are same. We'll just check it. So at first we have logistic growth. So logistic growth means we have limited resource availability condition. That means logistic growth will match with the 2. Exponential growth. Exponential growth means what? We have, unlimited resources, thereby very rapid growth, right? So we have unlimited resource availability condition. Exponential growth will match with 1. Expanding age pyramid. Expanding age pyramid means what? Growing age pyramid it is, right? So we will match it with the percent individuals growth of pre-reproductive age is largest, followed by reproductive and post-reproductive age group. Fourth one, it is the percent individuals of pre-reproductive and reproductive age group are same. Expanding age will match with the 3 itself. Okay. Then stable age pyramid will match with the 4. That means our option is C. Your prediction is right. We'll go with the C. Next one. Again, we have a match the following type of question. We have a leopard and a lion in a forest or grassland. A leopard and a lion in a forest or grassland. Okay, that means a carnivore it is. A cuckoo laying egg in crow's nest. That example you studied short. Fungi and root of a higher plant in mycorrhizae. Mycorrhiza, to a minimum, you might have heard in botany class. It's an interaction in between fungus and roots of higher plants. Then a cattle egret and a cattle in a field. Okay, a cattle egret and a cattle in a field. So the other side you can see, of course, interactions. A leopard and a lion in a forest or grassland, it is supposed to be competition, right? Okay, we'll just take it as competition because both are carnivores. They are there in the same area, right? Maybe the same niche, it covers. So we'll just connect it with the competition. A cuckoo laying egg in crow's nest is supposed to be brood parasitism. We call it as brood parasitism. We have our fungi and root of a higher plant in mycorrhizae. That is what we call mutualism. You remember it, mutualism. Then we have a cattle egret and a cattle in a field. Sure, it indicates commensalism, right? It's a type of interaction here. Cattle egret will be benefited, whereas you just take cattle, they have some neutral effect. So we'll connect leopard and a lion. We'll connect it with the competition itself. Cuckoo laying egg in crow's nest. Again, same match, brood parasitism. Fungi, that is again a correct match. A cattle egret and a cattle in field will connect it with the commensalism. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. So A, we connected with 1, yes. We have B connected with the brood parasitism, C 3 and D 4. Again, your prediction is right. Answer is C. Okay, correct match itself, right? Side by side, we have options. Next one. Which one of the following statements cannot be connected to predation? So what is wrong about predation? That's the question here. What is wrong about predation? First one, it helps in maintaining species diversity in a community. It helps in maintaining species diversity in a community. It might lead to extinction of a species. Next, both the interacting species are negatively impacted. Then it is necessitated by nature to maintain the ecological balance. So we have our first one, it helps in maintaining species diversity in a community. B, it might lead to extinction of a species. C, both the interacting species are negatively impacted. And 4, it is necessitated by nature to maintain the ecological balance. We'll check all these statements. First one, it helps in maintaining species diversity in a community. It helps in maintaining species diversity in a community. That is true. According to our textbook, that statement is true. You remember our pisaster, starfish, right? So how it was responsible for the maintenance of biodiversity, we studied there, right? When we removed that pisaster, some 10 species of invertebrates also got extincted or they have disappeared from that site. You remember it? So that is right. It might lead to extinction of a species. Again, from the same example, we can take it as right. When we remove pisaster, only pisaster we remove, but along with that 10 species got extincted or disappeared. Then both the interacting species are negatively impacted. So both the interacting species are negatively impacted. That is not right, right? In the sense one will be getting benefited, of course. Predation means that predator will be getting benefited, but prey species will be getting harmed. Such an interaction it is. So that is wrong. Last one, it is necessitated by nature to maintain the ecological balance. It is necessitated by nature to maintain the ecological balance. That is right. Right. See, it is very much necessary for maintaining the ecological balance. Right. That also we have seen, of course. So our answer is supposed to be C. Again, you predicted, I believe, right? Okay, that's good. So our next question. If Drosophila, there are 8 Drosophila they have given, of course, right? So if there are 8 Drosophila and a laboratory population of 80 died during a week, the death rate in the population is, okay, there are 8 Drosophila in a laboratory, okay, then 80, okay, out of 80, question is like this, out of 80 Drosophila, 8 got died, okay, in a laboratory culture. So that death rate we have to find out, right? Per capita death rate we have to find out. So what's that equation? What is per capita death rate? Per capita death rate means changes in number with regards to the existing number. So here changes in number means 8. 8 members got died out of 80, right? That means what? 8 by 80. So what would be the answer? What would be the answer? Correct it is, Vismaya. Correct. Others also can reply. Per capita death rate 8 by 80. That is what we have to find out here. Okay, correct it is, Anaga. So we'll go with point 1. So it is not birth or death we are considering, per capita birth rate or per capita death rate. That is a population attribute, you remember, of course. So we have our next question. In spite of interspecific competition in nature, which mechanism the competing species might have evolved for their survival? So in spite of interspecific competition in nature, which mechanism the competing species might have evolved for their survival? So here we have interspecific competition, okay, that it exists in nature. In a particular ecosystem, we have some interspecific competition, but at the same time, they have to ensure their survival. Okay, no one is supposed to be eliminated. Okay, that is the intention here. So which strategy they can adopt? Better strategy that we heard in the case of warbler, MacArthur warbler. Okay, Abhay Krishna, you are right, I believe. Yeah, correct it is. Okay, others also can. Vismaya, you have given something else. Vismaya, here we are talking about competition, right? Okay. Yeah, B. Answer is B, of course. Resource partitioning. So in the same topic, okay, competition topic, we are talking about what? The resource partitioning as an alternative. It's not every time we have competition. It's not every time we have exclusion. Then as an alternative strategy, we are presenting what? Resource partitioning. So we'll go with what? Resource partitioning. Our answer is supposed to be box. Amensalism, already we mentioned that term, right? About that interaction we discussed already. Amensalism can be represented as. So here we have two species, species A, then species B. Okay, there are 4 options also. So we'll just check it. Amensalism can be represented as species A with the beneficial effect, species B with the neutral effect, then option B, species A with the negative effect, then species B neutral, option C, species A beneficial, species B also, then species D, species A, option D, species A negative, species B negative. So this is amensalism. Amensalism means what? It's an interaction here. One species will be getting harmed, whereas the other one is having some neutral effect. So our answer is supposed to be, box it is. Species A will be getting harmed, whereas species B will have some neutral effect. Next one, in the exponential growth equation, nt is equal to n0 raised to rt, E represents. Okay, what is E? Maybe maths class, or physics class, you might have heard it. We are all having maths, I believe, right? Along with the biology. So you can guess it. Yeah, Abhay Krishna has given, I believe. Yeah, yes, of course. Correct it is. Abhay, correct. Others also can. Yeah, Vismaya correct. Anaga also correct it is. So it is the D, option D, natural logarithms base. It's there in textbook where we are talking about exponential growth. There, that E that they have given, of course. This is exponential growth equation, right? Next one. Which of the following is not an attribute of population? Attribute in the sense some characteristic features, right? There are many features we have attributed to a population. So which among the following is not an attribute here? Option A, sex ratio, B, natality, C, mortality, and D, species interaction. So which one? sex ratio they have given, natality, mortality, and species interaction. Better, we'll just go with D. Okay, the others you can see in textbook we have, right? Sex ratio they have given, then what we call it as per capita birth rate, per capita death rate, all those matters are there. Then you just take it as better one. Okay, better one it is, of course, species interaction, better option. Carnivorous animals like lions and leopards occupy the same niche. Niche means what? Niche means what in idiom? Niche is not just habitat. Okay, so coming under niche, habitat is there. Along with that, what are the different resources they explore? What are the different conditions they interact with? And also you just take what profession they have, what duty they have, what ecological duty they carry out. All those matters together we will call niche. So, but lions predate mostly larger animals and leopards take smaller ones. This mechanism of competition is referred to as character displacement, altruism, resource partitioning, competitive exclusion. Okay, here we have lions and leopards. They are there together. They are in the same place, same niche. But lions predate mostly larger animals, whereas leopards take smaller ones. Okay, this mechanism of competition is referred to as what we can call it as. So there is no any exclusion here, you have to guess it as lion and leopard, both are, both are interacting. Okay, both are, both they need food, but there is any exclusion here. So your answer is C, I believe. If that is the case, right, it is, right? We can call it as resource partitioning. In order to avoid that exclusion, they explore the resources available there. Okay, so instead of competing with each other, different food sources, they are in search for. So our answer is supposed to be C. Next one, between which among the following the relationship is not an example for commensalism? So we have orchid and the tree on which it grows. B, cattle egret and grazing cattle. C, sea anemone and clownfish. Then D, female wasp and fig species. So here we have orchid and the tree on which it grows, cattle egret and grazing cattle, sea anemone and clownfish, then female wasp and fig species. So between which among the following the relationship is not an example for commensalism? So in this list, which is not an example for commensalism? Orchid, okay, orchid and the tree on which it grows, epiphyte and vanda, or mango tree, you remember. Then cattle egret and grazing cattle, sea anemone and clownfish, female wasp and fig species. Better answer, correct answer. Okay, we'll go with the D, female wasp and fig species. Okay, here mutualism, they have given in our textbook. Okay, so one to one relationship, coevolution, everything we have discussed there. So our answer is supposed to be D. Next one, natality refers to death rate, birth rate, number of individuals leaving the habitat, and the number of individuals entering a habitat. Okay, so we'll go with the birth rate itself, right? It's a very easy question, of course, right? We have natality means birth rate, mortality means death rate. What is number of individuals leaving the habitat? What we'll call that phenomenon or that process as members of the same species leaving a particular habitat. What we'll call it as? That is very good, Abhay. That is what we call emigration. We'll call it as emigration. Then what about the number of individuals entering a habitat? That is what we call immigration. Anyway, our answer is supposed to be box. Next one, in a growing population of a country, Option A, pre-reproductive individuals are more than the reproductive individuals. B, reproductive individuals are less than the post-reproductive individuals. C, reproductive and pre-reproductive individuals are equal in number. Then D, pre-reproductive individuals are less than the reproductive individuals. Okay, question is very clear, I believe. We have a growing population. So each pyramids you remember. In that, what does that growing population it indicate? So here, pre-reproductive individuals are more than the reproductive individuals. Reproductive individuals are less than the post-reproductive individuals. C, reproductive and pre-reproductive individuals are equal in number. Pre-reproductive individuals are less than the reproductive individuals. You can guess, of course, very good. Vismaya, Negha, Shreya. Okay, all of you have given it as A. Correct it is, right? So growing or expanding population, you remember. So broad base you can see, right? More number of members you can see in pre-reproductive age than that of reproductive and post-reproductive age. So such a population will grow, right? Day by day, year by year, you can see some growth for this kind of population. So answer is supposed to be A. Next one, we have which one of the following population interactions is widely used in medical science for the production of antibiotics? Which one of the following population interactions is widely used in medical science for the production of antibiotics? You have to guess, you have to think a little bit. We have commensalism, mutualism, parasitism and amensalism. There are 4 options here. Little bit guesswork you need, I believe. So here one species will be getting harm, then the other one is having some neutral effect. One species is having harmful effect, whereas the other one is having some neutral effect. Abhay has given an answer already. Shreya, she guessed. Abhay has changed his answer, I believe, right? Vismaya, very good, very good. Correct it is. Shreya, Abhay and Vismaya, you have given right answer. That is nothing but D. Amensalism it is. Okay, very good example. It is, production of antibiotics by fungus. You just think about that interaction. Suppose fungus and bacteria are growing together. You just think about it. Fungus and bacteria are growing together, suppose. What are fungus is doing? Fungus may synthesize and secrete antibiotics. So, by using these antibiotics, if we want, we can kill bacteria, or automatically those bacteria will be killed, right? Right? That fungus, which is secrete antibiotic, that antibiotic may kill bacteria. Okay? That means bacteria will be getting harmed. But what about fungus? You think about the condition of fungus. Is there any benefit for it? Okay, is there any benefit for our fungus? Actually, there is any benefit. At the same time, there is any harmful effect also. Don't think that, okay, our fungus is secreting this antibiotic for killing bacteria deliberately. Okay, fungus is thinking about the killing of bacteria and it secretes some antibiotic. It is not so. Maybe as a part of some metabolic activities, fungus may synthesize some chemicals called antibiotic. Accidentally, it comes out, then it kills bacteria. So, for fungus, there is any benefit and there is any harmful effect. But our bacteria are having some negative effect, right? Some harmful effect it is there for bacteria because death of bacteria it happens. In that sense, we'll call it as amensalism. So, answer is D. Next one, if plus sign is assigned to beneficial interaction, already we have given it. Negative sign to detrimental and 0 for neutral interaction, then the population interaction represented by plus or minus refers to. Okay, question I'll repeat. If plus sign is assigned to beneficial interaction, minus sign to detrimental and 0 to neutral, then the population interaction represented by plus minus. Together you have to take, means one species will be getting beneficial effect, other one will be getting harm. So in this list, you have to choose right answer. We have option A, mutualism, option B, mensalism, option C, commensalism, and option D, parasitism. Mutualism is there. Both the members will be getting benefited. Amensalism, one species is having a negative effect, other one is having neutral effect. Commensalism, one is having a beneficial effect, other one is having neutral. And parasitism means one will be getting a beneficial effect, other one will be getting harm, right? Parasite will be benefited, whereas host organism will be getting harm. So you guessed it, right? Your answer you have given, sure, is supposed to be D. Next one, the principle of competitive exclusion was stated by. We have C. Darwin, B. Gauss, GF Gauss, C. MacArthur, and D. Verhulst and Pearl. Exclusion principle. Very easy it is. Very easy, very easy. You can guess it. All of you can guess. All of you can guess. Only Abhay has guessed it, I believe. Others also can. Very easy, very easy. Okay, good. So we'll go with B, Gauss's exclusion principle, right? GF Gauss, GF Gauss, GF Gauss. Very good, very good. Next one, Gauss's principle of competitive exclusion states that we have one, no two species can occupy the same niche indefinitely for the same limiting resources. Second, larger organisms exclude smaller ones through competition. C, more abundant species will exclude the less abundant species through competition. And D, competition for the same resources excludes species having different food preferences. We'll just check it. Gauss's principle of competitive exclusion states that no two species can occupy the same niche indefinitely for the same limiting resources. B, larger organisms exclude smaller ones through competition. Okay, C, more abundant species will exclude the less abundant species through competition. And D, competition for the same resources exclude species having different food preferences. Competition for the same resources exclude species having different food preferences. You can guess it. So Gauss's principle is somewhat like this. If one or two closely related species are depending on the same set of limited resources, they can't coexist indefinitely. During the course of time, the superior member will exclude inferior member. That is our Gauss's exclusion principle. So you can guess. No one has given answer, I believe. You read all those statements thoroughly. Abhay has guessed, I believe. Better it is D, I believe. Okay, Abhay, you guessed that B, larger organisms exclude smaller ones through competition. There is an example it has given with the Balanus and Cathamalus, right? That you remember, competitive release, a phenomenon we studied. There, that Balanus was bigger in size. Yeah, Abhay, there is a confusion in it, of course. okay, bigger in size, but Cathamalus was smaller in size. So that example they have cited in textbook. But last one you just take D option, you just read. They are telling that competition for the same resources exclude species having different food preferences. Okay, different food preferences means what? Here we have, there are number of organisms. Okay, they can opt for other food substances also. If competition it is there for the same food, nothing to worry. They can go for some other food. Okay, that time exclusion won't happen, right? Right? They can survive, I believe. So better it is D. Next one, in which one of the following interactions both partners are adversely affected? So, in which one of the following interactions both the partners are adversely affected? Parasitism is there, mutualism is there, competition is there, and also predation. In which of the following interactions both the partners are adversely affected? Parasitism, mutualism, competition, and predation. Both will be getting negatively affected. Okay, Abhay has given, Shreya has guessed, Shifana, okay, very good morning. You also guessed one answer. Okay, so here we have parasitism, mutualism, competition, and there we have predation also. Both will be getting harmed, right? Both will be getting adversely affected. So answer is supposed to be competition. Very good. Your guesswork is right. Answer is supposed to be C. So next there is a graph, a graphical representation you can see here. So you check it. The following graph depicts changes in two populations A and B of herbivores in a grassy field, in a grassland. A possible reason for these changes is that. So there are two species, species A and species B, or you call it as population A and population B. So what happens to their condition? What happens to their number? Everything you have to check, because here time they have given and over here number of organisms. So what happens to their number? That you have to guess. Species A and species B. Nobody guessed, I believe. So one clue I'll give. Here we have two species or two populations. They are growing together. Initially, we had their number. You just check. One species, their number will be coming down. Whereas the other one, you just take second species. Their number will be going up. So species A, their number is coming down. Whereas species B or population B, their number is going up. Yes, all of you has guessed, I believe. Abhay, Shreya, Negha, Vismaya, your guesswork is right, of course. We have option D. Population B competed more successfully for food than population A. So definitely it shows, competition. In this competition, one species, that will be getting excluded, right? Okay. Species A and species B you can see here. Species A, initially, we had more in number, but their number is coming down. Okay, whereas species B you just take, their number was less initially, but it's going up. Means we had some competition here. In this competition, superior member is B. Okay, then A it is competitively inferior population. So their number is coming down, or that will be extincted. So our answer is supposed to be D. Next one. The age pyramid with the broad base indicates A. High percentage of old individuals, B. Low percentage of young individuals, C. A stable population, and D. high percentage of young individuals. Broad base means, of course, growing population it is. By broad means we have more area for that rectangle. Okay, in the form of rectangle, each age group we represent, right? So this is broad base. Look here. Look here. So here we have broad base, right? Base you just take. Okay, which is having more area. Okay, that means what? More number of members you can see in this age group. That does it mean? Okay, if that is the case, pre-reproductive age group we have more in members, right? More members you can see with the pre-reproductive age group. Then above you just take reproductive and post-reproductive age group. There we have less in number. Means you just take it's a growing population, right? Growing population. So sure, we'll just go with the D. Next one, Cuscuta is an example for. Cuscuta is a plant, of course, ectoparasitism, brood parasitism, predation and endoparasitism. We have ectoparasitism, brood parasitism, predation and endoparasitism. You have guessed already. Cuscuta, this type of plant, this type of interaction you might have heard, you might have studied in botany class also, right? That's the reason your answer is right, I believe, of course. Yes, okay, answer is right, of course, A. Ectoparasitism, right? It's an example for ectoparasite. This type of plants you can see on other plants as a parasite, right? They are not living inside the plants, but outside higher plants, they are growing. In that sense, we call it as ectoparasite. Next one, what type of human population is represented by the following age pyramid? We have pre-reproductive age group, reproductive age group and post-reproductive age group. Options are vanishing population, B, stable population, C, declining population, D, expanding population. So here we'll consider how many members are there in pre-reproductive age group, reproductive age group and also post-reproductive age group. Okay, how many members you can see in reproductive, post-reproductive age group, pre-reproductive, reproductive and post-reproductive age group. Almost same number, right? Okay, almost same number. This type of population is what we call stable population. So in developed countries, we are expecting this type of population. Even after 50 years or 100 years, we are expecting the same status, right? That means the same number will be maintained because there are some law, right? There are some sort of restrictions there with regards to the number of kids, everything. So I will go with the stable population. Our answer is supposed to be box. So next one, we'll just check it. Question is about a parasite. Which one of the following is categorized as a parasite in true sense? So in this list, which member can be called as true parasite? The female Anopheles bites and sucks blood from humans. Human fetus develop inside the uterus, draws nourishment from the mother. We are all parasite in that sense, right? Okay. Abhay Krishna, question is this. Which interaction can be designated as parasitism here? There are 4 examples here. Okay, which one we will call it as what? Shreya, last question you asked about, right? Okay, that's the thing that we will check. Declining maybe. Oh, okay. There are less number of people in pre-reproductive. You are right. It is right. It is. It's not stable population. Of course, it is. Declining population. Okay, declining population. It is. So we'll just correct it. Wait a second. It's not stable, it is declining. I'm sorry. Okay, it's not stable population declining. Yes. Okay. So this is not a stable population, it is declining because less number of kids, right? Less number of kids compared to reproductive or post-reproductive, you can see less number of kids. In that sense, it is, of course, it is declining. Okay, urn shape, we'll get some urn shape like this, we'll get urn shape. Okay, thank you. Shreya, it's you. Yeah, it's you have given, I believe, right? Okay, thank you. It's a mistake. Next one, I will just check it. Which one of the following is categorized as a parasite in true sense? We have the female Anopheles bites and sucks blood from humans. Human fetus developing inside the uterus draws nourishment from the mother. Head louse living on the human scalp as well as laying eggs on human hair. The cuckoo lays its eggs in crow's nest. You can check it. Can we call female Anopheles mosquito as a parasite? Can we call human fetus as a parasite? Head louse living on the human scalp as well as laying eggs on human hair. Then the cuckoo lays its eggs in crow's nest. In true sense. Real parasitism. Question is about real parasitism. Okay, better answer. It is, of course, C. Correct it is. Correct. All of you have guessed, I believe. Answer is supposed to be C. So, head louse living on the human scalp as well as laying eggs on human hair. Of course, that's the right answer. Because just take it as it lays there, right? It lays its eggs there, right? In the sense it is permanently living there and it lays eggs on hair itself. So, in order to call an organism as parasite, there is a condition. The condition is somewhat like this. At least one phase of its reproduction, it must be, it must be in association with the host organism. Then only we'll call it as what? A parasite. Okay. So in that sense, correct answer is supposed to be C. Cuckoo and crow, that interaction also we call parasitism. But it's a special type of parasitism it is, right? Brood parasitism we call it as. In true sense, sometimes we won't call it so. That's the reason a special term we have attributed for it, of course, right? Yeah, Vismaya, correct it is, of course, brood parasitism. So, answer is supposed to be C. Next one. The logistic population growth is expressed by the equation that you can guess very easily, I believe. dt by dn is equal to nr k minus n by k, b dn by dt is equal to rn, then k minus n by k, dn by dt is equal to rn, then we have dn by dt is equal to rn, then n minus k by n. I think almost all have guessed it. Vismaya, Anaka, Bhai, Shreya, all of you have guessed. Right? Shifana, where are you? You can also guess. Of course, it is the box it is, right? So, that world who is Pearl equation you remember, of course, right? What is that K there? What does that K stand for? K. As a constant, one of the most important elements there. Very good, Abhay. Correct it is. Carrying capacity. Okay. The highest number of any species supported by nature in giving conditions. Right. Very good, Danika. Correct it is. So, we'll go with the box. Next one. Which one of the following is most appropriately defined? So, there is a definition for host. There is a definition for amensalism and interaction. There is a definition for predator. And there is a definition for parasitium. We have host, mensalism, predator, and parasite. Okay, host is an organism which provides food to another organism. Means host is kind enough, right? Okay, such an organism it is, right? It supplies food, it supplies food to its parasite every time. Okay, so generous, right? Host is so generous. It is always ready to give some food. Actually, it is not so, right? Host, host is not deliberately giving food. Okay, actually what parasite is doing, parasite it attacks forcefully, it takes food from host. Don't think that host is so generous and it supplies food to our parasite 24 hours. It is not so. So the definition is wrong. Then amensalism is a relationship in which one species is benefited. In that sense it is wrong. Okay, one species will be getting harm and the other one is having some neutral effect. So that is wrong. Next one, predator is an organism that catches and kills other organisms for food. Okay, maybe that is right. Last one also will read. Parasite is an organism which always lives inside the body of other organism and may kill it. That is wrong, right? Because we have, ectoparasites also. It's not just endoparasites we have. Ectoparasites also you can see. So that statement is wrong because parasite is an organism which always, that statement is wrong, that clause is wrong. So we'll go with the C. Better option it is C. So predator is an organism which catches and kills other organisms for food. So better option it is of course C. Next one, vertical distribution of different species occupying different levels in a biotic community is known as. So this question is from next chapter, ecosystem chapter. So we can guess it. Vertical distribution of different species occupying different levels in a biotic community is known as. There are structural and functional components of an ecosystem. In that way we heard something, we studied something. From that, we have this question. You can guess it. Here we have vertical distribution of different species occupying different levels in a biotic community is known as. Zonation. Zonation means different zone. Pyramid is there, that term you are familiar with. Divergence, convergence, divergence, everything you might have heard. Then we have stratification. Okay, it is of course D, stratification, right? Different strata. The stratification is more prominent in tropical rainforest. That also you have to know. In tropical rainforest, you can see very tall trees, you can see very big sized trees. Below that, you can see small sized trees. Then we have shrubs, herbs, grasses, right? Different layers, you can see plant communities or plants there, right? Different strata, right? Different height, you can see plants there. Then occupying each strata, we have different animals also. Okay, at the topmost part means upper canopy, which is occupied by different animals. Below that you can some other species of animals. Again we have different species you can see based on height. So that is what we call stratification. Stratification is one of the most important structural features of ecosystem. Next one. Which one of the following is not a functional unit of an ecosystem? So structural as well as functional units separately we studied, right? That you remember. So here we have which one of the following is not a functional unit of an ecosystem? Option A, energy flow, B, decomposition, C, productivity, and D, stratification. Structural and functional unit separately you studied. There are 4 functional components you studied separately. You have given answer, I believe. You have guessed it, right? Am I right? The answer you have given at last is your answer, maybe. Correct, huh? Yes, if that is the case, right it is, of course. So we will go with the stratification. Okay, because energy flow, decomposition, productivity, and nutrient cycling, there are 4 functional components you heard, right? Then stratification is a structural component. Okay, so odd one it is, of course, D here. Next, which one of the following is one of the characteristics of a biological community? Which one of the following is one of the characteristics of a biological community? Attributes of population you heard. Then we need attribute of a community. In this list you can see stratification, natality, mortality, then sex ratio. You can guess. Question is about which among the following is one of the characteristics of a biological community? You can guess it. Stratification is there, natality we have, mortality, and also you can see sex ratio. Which one of the following is one of the characteristics of a biological community? Vismaya has guessed, I believe. Vismaya, I'll let you know the answer. One is right, others you heard or others you studied as features or attributes of a population. So which is the odd one here that you check? Only Vismaya has guessed, others also can. Yes, Shreya, okay. Correct answer is apple. Okay, A itself. Correct, Anaga. Stratification is the feature, structural component of a community. But others you just take natality, mortality, and sex ratio. They are the features of population, right? Attributes of population. Coming under that, you heard all those properties, right? Natality you heard, mortality you heard, age distribution you heard, sex ratio you heard, right? Population density you heard. There are a number of features, right? But you just take stratification. That you heard as what? Feature of community. Ecosystem chapter you heard it, right? In that way also you can guess it, right? Right? In this list, you know that odd one it is, of course, the stratification that you heard in ecosystem chapter, others you heard in organism population chapter. So our answer is supposed to be stratification. Next. In the equation GPP minus R is equal to NPP, GPP is gross primary productivity and PP is net primary productivity, and R, what is R? What is R? A, respiratory loss, B, reproductive allocation, C, photosynthetically active radiation, then D, respiratory quotient. A. Respiratory loss. B. It is reproductive allocation. C. Photosynthetically active radiation. And D. Respiratory quotient. Okay, you have given an answer already. That's good. We'll check it. Okay, we'll go with apple, right? Respiratory loss. What do you mean by respiratory loss? Respiratory loss means this much only. The part of that energy or the part of that organic matter utilized by plants itself. Because they have to grow, they have to carry out some life activities, they have to perform metabolic activities. For all those things, they need energy. That energy, they take from the energy or the organic matter they prepared or synthesized already, right? That is what we call respiratory loss. So the answer is, of course, apple. Next. In relation to gross primary productivity and net primary productivity of an ecosystem, which one of the following statements is correct? First one, gross primary productivity is always less than net primary productivity. Second, gross primary productivity is always more than net primary productivity. C, gross primary productivity and net primary productivity are the same. And the last one, there is no relationship between gross and net primary productivity. That relationship in between GPP and NPP. What is right here, we'll guess. So here we have gross primary productivity is always less than net primary productivity. Gross primary productivity is always more than net primary productivity. Gross primary productivity and net primary productivity are the one and same. There is any relationship between gross and net primary productivity. Answer is box, of course, right? No, the GPP is always more than NPP. Right, because from GPP, that R fraction, right? R means what? Respiratory loss, a fraction of energy or organic matter that will be utilized by plants itself. The remaining amount, that is what we call NPP. That means what? It would be always lesser than that of GPP. So we'll go with the box option. The mass of living material at a tropic level at a particular time is called the mass of living material, okay, at a particular topic level during a particular time period is called net primary productivity, standing crop, gross primary productivity and standing state. We have net primary productivity, standing crop, gross primary productivity and standing state. Our question is this, what we will call the mass of living material at a tropic level at a particular time period. Confusion may be there in between standing crop and standing state, I believe. There's a chance for getting some confusion. Mass of living material. Yeah, of course it is box it is. Okay, standing crop. We'll go with the standing crop. Standing state means what then? Standing state. Standing state you might have studied, right? It's not there in your syllabus. Okay, it got deleted. That portion got deleted. Standing state, any guess? Anybody knows? What is standing state? Standing state? Anybody? Anybody? Standing state means what? Standing state means this much only. The amount of nutrients. Okay, there are various types of nutrients, macronutrients and micronutrients we have. So the amount of nutrients present in soil, okay, during a particular time period. Okay, maybe carbon, maybe you just take it as nitrogen or phosphorus or sulfur, whatever maybe it is, the total amount of nutrients, okay, present in a particular area during particular time period. That is what we call standing state. So our answer is standing crop because question is about the mass of living material at a tropic level at a particular time period. So living matter they have this. Next one. In an ecosystem, the rate of production of organic matter during photosynthesis is termed as. Okay, in an ecosystem, the rate of production of organic matter during photosynthesis is termed as secondary productivity, net primary productivity, and gross primary productivity. In an ecosystem, the rate of production of organic matter during photosynthesis. So the total amount of organic matter or energy produced during the time of photosynthesis, what we'll call it as the total amount of energy or the total amount of organic matter produced during the time of photosynthesis, the sum total. Okay, Vismaya, your guesswork is okay, I believe. Others also can guess. The total amount of organic matter or the total amount of energy, total amount. Out of that, R fraction will be utilized by plants itself, we heard several times. So in an ecosystem, the rate of production of organic matter during photosynthesis is termed as. Our answer is supposed to be D. Okay, that is gross primary productivity, the total amount of organic matter or the total amount of energy produced by plants during photosynthesis. Out of that R fraction that will be utilized by plants we heard. The rest is what we call NPP, net primary productivity. So we'll go with the D option, gross primary productivity here. Next one, secondary productivity is the rate of formation of new organic matter by. Secondary productivity is the rate of formation of new organic matter by. What do you mean by secondary production or secondary productivity? You heard about primary production, primary productivity, that is nothing but photosynthesis. Okay, out of that R fraction got utilized by plants. Remaining amount we called as NPP. Only that NPP fraction that will be given to consumers, various types of consumers. By using that NPP, our consumers, they prepare some fresh amount of energy or fresh amount of organic matter. What we'll call it as? Yeah, correct it is. That is what we called secondary production or secondary productivity, right? So secondary production or secondary productivity, we will see in connection with the consumers, various types of consumers. So as you know, NPP will be given to consumers. Okay, consumers means herbivores and carnivores we have. Then those members, they prepare some amount of organic matter or energy out of it. That is what we call secondary production or secondary productivity. So our answer is supposed to be apple. Okay, your guesswork is right. Next one. The rate of formation of new organic matter by rabbit in a grassland is called. The rate of formation of new organic matter by rabbit. Specifically, they have given one animal's name there. So, we'll just think about it. What type of organism is this rabbit? Is it a producer? Is it a herbivore? Is it a carnivore? Or we'll just check, is it a producer or consumer? Yeah. Somebody has guessed it, I believe. The rate of formation of new organic matter by rabbit in a grassland is called. Okay, your answer is right. That is what we call secondary productivity. Okay, rabbit means what? It's a herbivore. Herbivore means it's a consumer. Okay, whether it is a herbivore or carnivore, will classify them under the category consumer. So if consumer is synthesizing some organic matter or energy, we may call it as what? Secondary production, or its rate is what we call secondary productivity. So our answer is supposed to be box. Next one. Mass of living matter at a tropic level in an area at any time is called. Mass of living matter, similar question we heard already. Mass of living matter at a tropic level, at a particular topic level in an area at any time is called. We have standing crop, we have humus, we have detritus, and also we have standing state. Vismaya has given an answer. Others also can guess it. We have humus, we have detritus, we have standing state, and also standing crop. The amount of or the mass of living matter at a tropic level in an area at any time. Okay, your guess is right. We'll call it as standing crop. Okay, that also will call it as standing crop. Already said, similar question we have covered. So this is what we call the amount of living matter or the amount of organic matter present in a particular tropic level during a particular time period in a particular area. That is what we call standing crop. So we'll go with option A. Next. The biomass available for consumption by the herbivores and the decomposers is called. In textbook, decomposers also they have included. The biomass available for consumption by the herbivores and the decomposers is called. The biomass, when we hear that decomposer part will be confused sometimes. Okay, maybe, we may take it as detritus or dead body because decomposers they have included. But in textbook, the statement is there like that. So what we'll call the biomass available for consumption by the herbivores and the decomposers. You call it as the consumers in general. That's better. We'll generalize it as consumers. Vismaya, you guessed this answer, I believe. It's your answer. We have given an answer, you guessed it. What we'll call the organic matter or the biomass available for consumers in general, which constitute herbivores. Then carnivores are there, but in textbook decomposers also they have given. Okay. Its answer you can give now. What we'll call it as? The amount of organic matter that will be given to consumers or that is available to consumers, and by using that consumers they prepare some fresh amount of organic matter. Vismaya, your answer is right. I believe, of course, you guessed it. Others also can. Okay, we'll go with apple. Only Vismaya has guessed, I believe. Answer is right. It is apple. Net primary productivity, right? So out of GPP, R will be subtracted, right? R will be utilized by plants, I said, and only NPP. That fraction will be transferred to, that will be given to our consumers. Consumers means herbivores and carnivores. But in textbook, decomposers also they have given. So answer is supposed to be apple. Net primary productivity, we'll call it as. Next one, which one of the following ecosystems types has the highest annual net primary productivity? You can guess it. Which one of the following ecosystem types has the highest annual net primary productivity? We have given with the tropical deciduous forest, temperate evergreen forest, temperate deciduous forest, and also tropical rainforest. That you have to guess where we are expecting more productivity, where we are expecting more primary productivity. Is it in tropical deciduous forest? Deciduous means, leaves will be fallen off, right? Okay, during a particular season, especially you just take it as summer season, you can't see enough leaves, everything. Then temperate evergreen forest, temperate climate, some hill stations everywhere, we have some sort of some chilling temperature we have. Then temperate deciduous forest we have. During winter season, everything, all the leaves will be fallen off. Then we have tropical rainforest. So where we are expecting maximum productivity, maximum primary productivity. Here it has given with the net primary productivity. That also, you can guess. Shreya, your guesswork is right, I believe. Others also can. Okay. Okay, we'll go with the tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforest means what? There we have all the varieties of plants, right? Big sized plants you can see, medium sized plants, we have some herbs, grasses, everything we have together. So productivity also would be more, right? Compared to other forests you just take. Here we have a high temperature, right? Somewhat good temperature, high rainfall we have, and also, we have lots of plants. So productivity also would be more here, right? All the conditions are so favorable. So it is better to go with option D. Next one. Which of the following is expected to have the highest value in a grassland ecosystem? Okay, highest value in the sense productivity itself. Again, is it primary productivity or secondary productivity? Is it gross primary productivity or net primary productivity? Like that, that question is all about. Or tertiary production they have given. They have given, specifically they have given a special ecosystem, grassland ecosystem they specified. And they are asking about where we will get the highest productivity. Which one, which productivity or which production is supposed to be the highest? Is it primary production or secondary production or tertiary production? Again, is it GPP or NPP, like that? Sure, Vismaya has guessed it. She has given an answer. It is C, of course, right? It is supposed to be gross primary production. So whatever may be the ecosystem it is, okay, we'll get more, okay, we'll get more in number or what we call more amount, it is supposed to be GPP. Okay, gross primary production would be more. Then sure, we'll just guess it. Secondary production is lesser than that. And again, tertiary production, if we have, that would be the least. Next one. The rate at which light energy is converted into chemical energy of organic molecules is the ecosystem. In the ecosystem is what we'll call the rate at which light energy is converted into chemical energy of organic molecules in an ecosystem. What we'll call it as? Is it net secondary productivity, gross primary productivity, net primary productivity, or gross secondary productivity? Net secondary productivity, gross primary productivity, then net primary productivity, or even gross secondary productivity. Whether it is gross primary or secondary, you check it. Okay. Net secondary productivity, gross primary productivity, net primary productivity, then gross secondary productivity. What we'll call the rate at which light energy is converted into chemical energy of organic molecules in an ecosystem. What we'll call it as? You can go for some guesswork. Vismay has given an answer, I believe. Shreya also. Okay, we'll go with the gross primary productivity, right? Photosynthesis it is, right? That phenomena is what we call photosynthesis, right? Right, light energy will be converted into chemical energy. Okay, by using sunlight, they prepare some organic matter, everything, right? That is what we call photosynthesis. Photosynthesis means what? That is gross primary production. You understood? Okay, that's good. In that way, you have to study it as next one. Maximum solar energy is trapped by, we have planting trees, cultivating crops, growing algae in tanks, growing grasses. Maximum solar energy is trapped by A. Planting trees, B. Cultivating crops, C. Growing algae in tanks, and growing grasses. So where that photosynthetic rate is more, we'll guess it, then we will give an answer. Where you can see maximum photosynthetic capacity, that will guess at first, then answer. Question is this, where we have maximum photosynthetic capacity, where you can see the highest photosynthetic capacity. Okay, Shreya, you have given an answer. Better option, I believe. Others also can guess. Yes, apple. We'll go with apple. That could be better, I believe. It is better to have planting trees, right? If you have big sized trees, of course, we'll get more photosynthesis, right? More primary productivity. You remember, I believe, some data your textbook it has given. World's total annual net primary productivity would be around 170 billion tons. Out of that, major fraction, approximately 68%, which is coming from terrestrial ecosystem. Okay, in terrestrial ecosystem, mainly you can see trees, right? The main producer it is, of course, tree. So, photosynthetic capacity is also more because upper canopy, okay, that greater height, which is covered by this type of plants. So, maximum sunlight they can absorb, and also more number of leaves you can see for them, and also more amount of that photosynthetic machinery. So, answer is supposed to be apple. Next one, given below are two statements. Statement 1, decomposition is a process in which the detritus is degraded into simpler substances by microbes. Statement 2, decomposition is faster if the detritus is rich in lignin and chitin. So both the statements you read, then correct option you have to give. Decomposition is a process in which the detritus is degraded into simpler substances by microbes. Statement 2, decomposition is faster if the detritus is rich in lignin and chitin. So both the statements will just check. Vismay has guessed, she has given an answer with already. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect, right? That's the answer. First one you just take, decomposition is a process in which the detritus is degraded into simpler substances by microbes, right? Detritivores. we call it as decomposition. The decomposition is faster if it contains nitrogenous waste, simple sugars like that, if oxygen is available. But if it contains, that lignin, chitin like substances, decomposition would be a slow process. So we'll go with the first statement is right, second one is wrong. That means our answer is C. Next one. Detritivores break down detritus into smaller particles. This process is called. So according to textbook, you have to answer catabolism, fragmentation, humidification and decomposition. Detritivores break down detritus into smaller particles. This process is called. You can check your textbook at first. Your textbook, you just check what we'll call that process. Detritivores break down detritus into smaller particles. All of you can guess. If you have any doubt, textbook. So you will be familiar with the textbook. What we'll call that process as detritus will be broken down into smaller particles. Decomposition means detritus will be converted into inorganic substances, right? At last, inorganic substances will be formed. Okay, Shreya also has guessed, I believe. It's not guesswork. Right, you people might have checked your textbook. Actually, it is confusing. There are 3 events, or 3 steps or 3 processes they have given, bit confusing. Catabolism, fragmentation and decomposition, right? So, we'll go with the B. Better option, it is B. Which one of the following processes during decomposition is correctly described? First one, catabolism, last step in the decomposition under fully anaerobic condition. That it happens under fully anaerobic condition. B, leaching, water soluble inorganic nutrients rise to the going up to the top layers of soil. Fragmentation carried out by organisms such as earthworm. And D, humidification leads to the accumulation of a dark colored substance, humus, which undergoes microbial action at a very fast rate. So which one is right? All the statements will check. That process they have given, then its explanation you can see next. We'll just check it whether that explanation is right or wrong. Catabolism, last step in the decomposition process, it is telling, and it is an anaerobic event also they add. Then leaching, water soluble inorganic nutrients are going up, rising, they may rise to the top layers of soil. Fragmentation carried out by organisms such as earthworm. Then humidification leads to the accumulation of a dark colored substance called humus, which is readily degraded by microbes. That means which undergoes microbial action at a very fast rate. So better option we can. I will go with the C. Vismaya, you are right, of course. That could be better option, I believe. Catabolism is not the last step, and also it is not an anaerobic process. Decomposition as a whole is an aerobic process, you heard. Leaching, water soluble inorganic substances are going deep into soil. There it will be sedimented. It's not rising up. Then we have humidification. Humus will be formed, but it is not very easily degraded by microbes. Okay, your textbook it is telling it is highly resistant to microbial activity. So answer is supposed to be C. Next one, the breakdown of detritus into smaller particles by earthworm is a process called humidification, fragmentation, mineralization and catabolism. What we'll call the breaking down of detritus into smaller particles by organisms such as earthworm. What we'll call it as. Okay, that's right. Correct answer. All of you can guess, I believe. Okay, that's right. Right it is. Okay, B it is, right? That event is what we call fragmentation. Okay, thank you all then. These two chapters, together they may ask some 5 or 6 questions. Okay, so definitely you have to prepare both the chapters thoroughly. You may feel it as boring, but still you have to prepare it because lots of weightage we have, lots of questions, we may get from these two chapters together. Okay, vacation you utilize so productively. Okay, along with the celebration, we need, little bit smart work also, right? So we have to prepare it, some portions, some topic you have to set aside, then we'll study it. Okay, so thank you all.